Welcome to Cloud9 Discovery's recorded webinar featuring OnDemand. Today we'll be taking a close look at our newly released version of OnDemand called Universal, which works seamlessly in any browser on PC or Mac, so users are free to access their data and all of OnDemand's features in Chrome, Firefox, and even Safari. I'll take a few minutes and first explain at a high level the type of software OnDemand is, and then we'll flip from here to the actual product to take it for a test drive. The new OnDemand Universal simplifies the litigation process with innovative technology. The most important thing to understand about OnDemand is that your data is available anytime, any place. The beauty of web-based software is that all you need is a computer and an internet connection, and from anywhere in the world you can access your review and OnDemand's full suite of features. And you connect to OnDemand securely. All of your data is housed in the United States in a Tier 4 data center, featuring 128-bit end-to-end encryption that's scalable to any size database, from megabytes to terabytes, in a forensically sound environment. Your review software comes with no user license fees or minimum numbers of licenses, so it's left to you whether you want to be the only one with access or to share it with colleagues, clients, or outside experts. There are no huge programs to install and maintain, since OnDemand Universal is a full SaaS application that works entirely within a web browser. Software updates are free and pushed out automatically as soon as they are ready. You can load your own review into OnDemand using our self-loader or simple discovery uploader. And as an admin, you have full review control of your database and users, overseeing access, tracking changes, and viewing administrative reports. You can add and remove users from projects on the fly, as well as set their reviewer rights, such as who can download, print, redact, or tag. Finally, when you're finished with your review, you can export the entire contents of your database out of OnDemand, including images, natives, text, and metadata with the bulk export function. Your review support comes with free training and onboarding for you and your whole team, as well as live chat and 24-hour email technical support. Now let's see it in action. We will explore these popular features: the interface and navigation, document review and markups, custom coding fields, keyword searching, and instant reports. My browser is open to universal.ondemandreview.com, and I click to log in here to enter my user credentials. This is the main landing page of OnDemand, and you'll see your dashboard at the top with quick link icons to your most important options, such as coming back home here to this screen from anywhere within the software, a support drop-down menu that lets you access our FAQ knowledge base of commonly asked questions and answers, our issue reporting form, which will go to our entire support team when you submit one, and a link to live chat, which is open between 9 and 5 Central if you would like to chat with one of our technical support associates. You'll also see a button to log out, and on the upper right you'll see My Account, which will let you view and edit your personal information such as your contact info, password, security question, as well as a section for bulk exports that are available for you to download documents to your local machine. For every project you're enrolled in, you'll see a tile to access it here. Each project and its data is siloed off from all the others, so when I hover my mouse over any of these, I see more options appear along the top right-hand side, such as Project Analytics on this one here. If I click Project Analytics, I can see more high-level information about this project without having to go into it, such as project statistics that includes the number of users enrolled, the total size of the database, the number of documents and pages. When I click on File Types, it gives a breakdown of the types of native files, if any are loaded, that are in the database and the number of documents that represent each. Document Keywords displays the words that appear most often in the database, as well as representing them in a word cloud that shows the most common words as larger and closer to the center of the cloud. Conceptual keywords are available if clustering has been run to analyze the database, which groups related documents into clusters and labels each cluster with descriptive keywords. This labeled clustering of documents provides a quick overview of the document set, speeds up review, and ensures that related documents are reviewed together. I'll see here a list of keywords that will show me which words conceptually relate the most documents together and also represent those in a word cloud. Tags displays a list of user-created fields that have been made in the database and the number of documents tagged to each. Domains displays a list of the number of instances each email domain appears in the database's metadata. And the document timeline shows a graph of the number of emails against the point in time they were sent, so you can visualize when email activity has occurred in the past. Let me click on the X to exit the project analytics. And on this tile, I see underneath the project analytics a button to restore position. And this shortcut will auto-resume your last position in the database. Even if you were in the middle of an advanced search, it'll take you right back to the document you'd last accessed so you don't lose your place. In addition, we see an option to access the project search tool to build new searches or access your recent and saved searches. I'm going to enter this project now by clicking on the tile for C&D Master Demo. These are publicly available documents from the Enron bankruptcy trial early last decade, and this data collection is made up of native electronic documents, TIFF images of those documents, and their extracted text. Let's look at the document pane. We see 3 tabs which represent the different versions of this document I can view. In this case, the image, native, and text tabs. I'm currently on the image tab where I can see the TIFF version of this document, 117376, and I see a translucent menu for my image tools here, and I can adjust my image view for the document, such as to view it best fit vertically or by width, and even rotate it to view documents in landscape. At the bottom here of my image tools, I have the option to do highlighting and redacting. And if I wanted to issue a redaction, I could click black redact, collapse my menu, and then I will drag this box over what I wish to redact here. In this case, this header. And I can move the box around if I wish. I can resize by grabbing a hold of the boxes and resizing it however I need. And I can do the same thing for my highlights. If I want to do a highlight, I will select that, drag my box over what I want, resize it to make sure it's how I like, and after I'm done marking up my document, I can click Save. Now, you can see here that this redaction is gray to us while we're in the tool, but you can see that if I chose to print, I can choose to burn in the annotations or redactions as I print it, so it'd be blacked out as you would expect. And if I want to delete my markups, all I have to do is select them and click delete, and then save after I'm done. For multi-page TIFFs, such as document 117382, I'll see a translucent scroll bar in the top left indicating that there's multiple pages to this document. And I could simply click on these buttons here to navigate between this document's pages. Now there's a text tab for this document that will display the OCR or extracted text of it, whichever is available and loaded into OnDemand. When we do full text searches in a few moments, it's on this tab that we will see our hits highlighted and numbered for us. And I can also switch to the native tab where I can see the native version of this document. In this case, it's an email file in an HTML format that will load within OnDemand. However, not all native file formats will load right in your browser, such as Microsoft Word or Excel documents. So let's use the file listing pane to find a document that will have to be opened natively in whatever program I have installed that can do that. So here, as I hold my mouse over these documents here in the file listing pane, I can get a snapshot of their metadata. You can see that the very top field there is the doc extension field. So what I can do is use this to quickly scroll through my documents until I find one that's an XLS. In that case, it would be a Microsoft Excel file. We can see here that it's going to automatically download, and I can click on it to open. And here we can see the spreadsheet here in its native format. So I can click inside the cells, see any cellular formulas that might be used, scroll through the different tabs and charts. And then I can save a local copy if I wish to email it out or print it or what have you. I'll go ahead and close out of that. So let's take a closer look at the file listing pane. I'm going to go ahead and go back up to document 117376, and as I mentioned, you can see the first 25 documents here in the file listing pane, and I can scroll through them by clicking next 25 documents to go to the next group of 25. So now I'm in group 2. I can even use the slider to drag it down to, let's say, group 47. So this is the 47th group of 25 documents, and I can even enter in a group number into this box, which will take me right to whichever group of 25 I wish. Now, you'll notice that this is sorted by the native file name, but I can sort it by any of the metadata, such as date fields or any of my tag fields, in ascending or descending order. And then I'll see all of these documents represented with the document number, with the native file name in this example listed right below it. On the very right, we have the metadata pane, and that shows you all the information about this document that's been loaded into OnDemand. Right below the OnDemand document ID, I can see tabs that will show me the type of document it is, whether there's any similar documents, any part of the documents that are part of email threads, near dupes, and even the document history. When I view the document history, I can see the full history of this document, including every change I've made, on a document or page level. And if I were an admin instead of a user, then I could view the changes that every user has made to this document. I can see all the metadata fields for this document as I scroll down, and there are 3 types of metadata fields in OnDemand. The first type are the OnDemand system fields, and these would include ones like OnDemand doc ID, image file name, all the way down through endbaits. These can't be changed, but are useful to search on in order to pull up a certain document if you know its unique value for these fields. The second type of field are the processing fields, and these pull out really useful information from the raw data as it was ingested by the processing software before it was put into OnDemand. And these sorts of fields will include things like the source folder path, the to and from fields out of emails, date and time sent, and so on. These fields can't be changed either, but hold valuable information to search through, such as communications between a client and their legal counsel based on the to or from fields, and so on. The third type of field are the custom user fields that can be created and edited, such as the responsive or privileged fields I see here. These fields are central to organizing, tagging, and sharing notes on documents by reviewers. Of these custom fields I can create, the 2 most popular types in OnDemand are yes or no checkboxes and text fields. To tag a particular document for one of these yes or no checkboxes, all I have to do is click once on the tag. So if I click responsive, it'll change to orange from blue, and to untag it, to change it back to blue, I simply just have to click on it again. Now, if I want to edit a text field, such as Carlos's notes, all I have to do is double click into it, make my note, and save it. And editing is just as simple. All I have to do is double click on it again, make my edit, and then resave it. And of course, your notes fields are searchable as well within the search function we will be looking at in just a couple of moments here. So let's say that I need to search this project for a particular issue and designate those documents for a particular group or field that doesn't already exist. In particular, my task for this project might be to find all documents related to petroleum and tag them to a particular field because they're relevant to something I'm looking for. So first I'll need to create a new field I can tag documents to, and I'll do that by going to Tools, Create Field. I'll give my field a name. I'll call it here just petroleum. Now I have 2 options for field scope, local and global. A local field is viewable only to the user that created it, and a global field is viewable to anyone enrolled in the database. You'll usually opt to make it a global field so that collaborative work is most efficient. I will then choose to make it a yes or no checkbox, but I have other options here for field creation such as date, number, a text box, or even a multiple choice selection. If I choose yes on quick search, I'll see a shortcut next to the field after it's created that will quickly pull up all documents in the database that are tagged the same as the document you're on. So a quick search on a document where petroleum is unflagged will pull up all other documents that are unflagged for that field as well, and vice versa. Once I click Create Field, I stay on this screen here to create more fields if I wish, or click Cancel to return to the main page, which will now refresh, and I'll see my newly created petroleum field down at the bottom of this metadata pane here. Now by default, all of the new fields are placed at the bottom, but I can customize the look of my metadata pane by going to Tools and then select Sort Viewable Fields. Here I'll see all the metadata fields I have access to in their respective order. I can scroll to the bottom and click this arrow for Move to Top to send these fields to the very top, and I can even just drag and drop these fields wherever I wish, and even uncheck documents I wish to hide from my view, such as these here. I'll click Save and then Cancel to return to the main screen, and when it refreshes I'll see that I have my petroleum field right here at the top where it's easy to find. So I've created this new petroleum field. Now let's find the documents relating to petroleum that I need to tag to it. On the navigation bar at the top, I'll click Search, and I'll start in the top left box right under Available Fields. And this is where I start with each new search to choose what documents I would like to retrieve. In this case, we'll do a document text full text search throughout the text of all the documents to find the word petroleum. So, as I start to type, OnDemand begins suggesting possible search terms that's indexed based on what I'm typing in. I'll choose petroleum here and click Include to put all documents in where this word appears. I can also choose to add more criteria to my first term, such as the words oil and crude, because those are like petroleum. And I can change my logical connectors by clicking on the bubble, so I can change these from and to or. But what if I want to pick all synonyms to find results for petroleum on? Well, let me go ahead and just X out oil and crude, and under my full text searching options, I'll check off synonym. So this will find all synonyms of the word petroleum without me having to add in all the criteria here. I also have options to do a stemming and fuzzy search if I want to. So here I can run my search just by clicking the button, and after it runs I can see on the very bottom right that I have 2,107 documents that have hits for my full text synonym search of the word petroleum. Now next to each document in the file listing pane, what I'm going to see here is a number in parentheses, and this indicates the number of hits for my search within the document. When I'm on the text tab here, I will be brought immediately to the first hit, which is highlighted and numbered. You'll see that crude and oil are marked as hits because they are similar in meaning to petroleum, so my synonym search is working as it should. And I have a translucent scroll bar here at the bottom of the text tab that I can use to move between my hits and ultimately come to the one designated as the last one in this document. So I could tag now all of these documents to my petroleum field by selecting the documents and tagging the field, like so. But obviously this would take a lot of time, especially for over 2,000 documents. So what I want to do is group tag all of my results at once by clicking on Tools, Group Tag Documents. Now I can only group tag to yes or no checkbox fields, and I see all of my available yes no checkbox fields here. I'll select petroleum and I want it to be true, and you'll notice here that it tells me that all 2,107 documents will be tagged. These have direct search results for my synonym search of petroleum. If I wish, though, I can choose to include the family groups of these documents to be tagged. So what this means is that if I got a petroleum hit in an email, but not in the attachment to that email, if I include the family groups, I can go ahead and pull in that attachment as well, since it might be relevant. So once you do that, you'll see that it changes from 2107 to 5797. So those documents that make up the difference are the family groups that result when we do our search. I'll click Verify Tag and Apply. And now all of these documents are tagged for the petroleum field. So let's say that your colleague needs quick access to these documents we just tagged. Well, it's easy to run searches, not just through the full text of the documents as we just did, but on any of the 3 types of metadata fields. All one needs to do is go to the search module, and let's select the petroleum field from the available field section. You'll notice here though that my previous search criteria on my last run search is still here, and that makes it easy to add to my search or even save it for later, but I'll go ahead and clear it out here. I'm going to, from the drop down, find my field. Petroleum is true. I'll include that in my criteria. And I'll go ahead and save this search. And I have the same options here for local and global scope that I have with field creation, and I want to make it global usually. Let's go ahead and call it petroleum is true, and then run my search. So once I've saved a search and run it, it's now available from the Saved Searches drop-down menu in the top right next to the Tools menu. So here I can jump between any of my saved searches with just a click of the button. So for example, if I want to jump to my documents where privileged is true, I can do that here. And I've even made a saved search for all the documents that I can jump straight from a sub-search to the entire database as well. So here this search on petroleum is true, pulled up all of my documents, 5,797. So that pulled up all the documents properly here. The last popular feature of the new on-demand universal is the improved reporting capabilities. So from the Tools menu, I can see I have 2 different types of reports, an audit log report and a metadata index report. When I click on the audit log event report, I can see the types of actions that are recorded in OnDemand. And working from the top down, I can choose by user, I can choose a time range, and I can either choose all recorded actions in OnDemand or drill down on particular ones, such as who printed or who tagged and so on. And I can click View Log, and I can get a history of everything that's been happening in this database, and I can also download it as a CSV file as well. What I also see is a metadata index report, and this makes it really easy to get reports on documents that I've tagged. For example, let me collapse the Tools menu and run my saved search for privileged is true. And this will pull up all the documents, these 81, that have been tagged privileged. And now what I can do is get a priv log by clicking metadata index report. I can give it a name. I can choose the fields that I want to pull out. I can choose to sort it by a particular field and even download it as a CSV. If I click View Report, I can view it in my browser here and also download it as a CSV from here. So once I do that, now I can get a priv log now of all of the documents that have been marked as privileged in this data set, along with all of the custom user metadata, such as my fields for petroleum, damages, and so on, that have been made on this database. So, as you've seen, the new OnDemand is very easy to use universally in any browser with intuitive quick link icons for navigation, easily accessible help, along with a dedicated support team. And this completes the basic demonstration of its most popular features. Right now we are offering a free no-risk trial of OnDemand on the first dataset of any new project. That includes free native processing, early data assessment, and a full month of hosting. For more information, you can always navigate to our website at cloud9discovery.com to see our full suite of software and services, such as computer forensics analysis or professional services consulting. Our contact information is located at the bottom of the page, so you can reach out to us by email at info@cloud9discovery.com or give us a call toll-free at 877-595-6464. Thank you for watching how the innovative technology built into the new OnDemand Universal simplifies the litigation process.